today we have an impossible challenge ahead, which is trying to find out why Brian May's style is so cool, so unique and so melodic. Now that he only knows the answer, but what we can do is we can take one of his solos and try to figure out what's happening and how it's done. I decided to take a solo from A Kind of Magic album, Friends Will Be Friends, which really shows up quite a lot of his trademarks and his way of doing things, which is, as I said, so special. So let's have a look. The solo starts with one of Brian May's secrets for a very cool solo, which is anticipation. Now, he could have started the solo directly too, but they decided to start with something that creates lots of anticipation. There's anticipation there, you know something cool is gonna happen, but you don't know what. There are many examples of this in many of Queen's songs. You can hear We Will Rock You start with some sort of like feedback approaching, and you know there's something huge gonna happen. Don't Stop Me Now as well, they're building it up with the drums and the singing, and then suddenly they go oh, and he kicks in with the solo. So anticipation is one of his secrets. Now, the solo properly starts with this nice lick here. Strong statement using one of Brian May's favorite scales, in my opinion, which is the major pentatonic. And it really copies a little bit the verse, the vocals on the verse, choosing similar notes and slightly different rhythm, but strong statement, beautiful, very melodic, and it lands on the D, which is a chord tone for the second chord, so okay, more or less, and so it lands on the D. That's really important because in his melodic solos really he makes the most of each chord. He will look at the chord progression, or even, who knows, maybe he actually comes up first with the melody of the solo and then the chords that will follow that melody. That we don't know, but it's spot on, it's always very melodic. And then we are here, and really what he wants to do is to get to the highest register of the guitar. Same with Bohemian Rhapsody, it starts with a strong statement and then builds its way up the fretboard, no? So then okay, so he got here to this note from here. The idea I played in the intro really is using this run, okay, using the pentatonic scale. And now here we have a very beautiful use of a pre-bend. So Brian May uses pre-bends a lot, which means that he bends the note before he actually plays it. So you really need to master the bendings before you attempt to do this, because it's normal that sometimes if you try to do it, it might be too flat or too high. Okay? A good practice song for that is Last Horizon. Yeah, that. He really does use this pre-bend quite a lot, or Killer Queen has lots of pre-bendings as well. It's beautiful motifs and so we have the pre-bend here. And now what he's doing is something quite, I think, typical in his solos. It's kind of like a run using the major scale. In this case, Bohemian Rhapsody is a probably the best example. It's kind of doing like a rundown. And if you hear the backing track, the chord progression is also running down like tin 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 tin. So he's copying what the backing track is all mixing perfectly. Again, like a strong pentatonic lick there. And a bending. And the notes match perfectly the chord progression. They are notes of the chords. This is not, in my opinion, improvised. He has a very clear idea in mind of what he's doing there. He closes the phrase here. Okay, I finish my statement, and here is, and then he does something. I'm not sure exactly what he does there, but that's when the vocals take over. The vocals take over in a moment that you don't really expect. You expect the solo to really finish the whole chord progression, but the vocals take over there. And something quite special about Brian May's solos as well is that he doesn't just finish the solo the moment that the vocals take over. He always carries on with something a bit, something extra a little bit once the vocals started. A very good example is Don't Stop Me Now again. Once the vocals come again, he finishes with some little drawings here, some little touches, so the solo doesn't finish abruptly. Out of this solo we can learn lots of cool things about his style. Anticipation, there's lots of anticipation before the solo really kicks in. Then he's using chord tones, so he's landing on the note of the chord, or a note that is part of the chord. Then mixes pentatonic, major pentatonic with a major scale. Okay, that's a major scale of G, or E minor if you like. Then he uses bends, but not in the way you expect to find a bend. Sometimes it's a pre-bend. Sometimes it's a mix of pre-bend and then a bend. That's very Brian May as well. Okay, he does runs to keep the rhythm interesting. Okay. Builds intensity by putting more notes than what we are used to so far. Starts slowly, then builds it up with more notes. And then, yeah, something else, as I just mentioned, the solo doesn't finish when the vocals come in. He complements the vocal with some lines. We Are the Champions, there's no guitar solo there, but he really is kind of like having a little discussion with the vocals. That's trademark, and I just think it's so great, so great. So if I can suggest some practice regime, practice the major pentatonic scale mixed with the major scale, and work it out from there. There are lots of nice ideas that you can take out of this. Okay, that's all I can say for now about Brian May's style. There will be more videos coming up soon, but really it's a matter of good taste, and that you can acquire by listening to lots of music and try to make your own music as well. I hope you found this video interesting, hopefully helpful, and until next time, happy playing everyone!